And once again, it's Sonia Barrett, and I am back for another little chit chat. And today I want to talk about what's the topic? Maybe I don't love you just the way you are. And what sparked that? Well, let's see. There's a song by Billy Joel, I Love You Just the Way You Are. And it was playing last week. I heard it and I love the song. I mean, you just can't help but love the song. And so I started thinking about it, don't go changing to try to please me. You never let me down before. And of course, in other parts of the song, it says, don't go trying some new fashion. Don't change the color of your hair. You've always had my unspoken passion, although I might not seem to care. Now, I think the idea of I love you just the way you are, we have to ask that question. Are we really able to love people just the way they are? I think it's possible, but how often does it happen? And you have to examine your own situations. And the reason why I'm saying this is because what is typical? What is typical is that we want to change people. And, we're talking about not just romantic relationships, but we're talking about close friendships. If we really look at, say, romantic relationships, your lover, your, husband or whatever, your spouse, and, when the honeymoon is over, meaning that part where we're just completely so infatuated with each other and the excitement and the thrill of the encounter, when that gradually starts to fade and we begin to see all aspects of each other, can we then really say we love each other just the way we are? And again, this is anybody. And I think that's a question that really should be asked, because we're always doing what? We want people to change to to be in alignment with our perception of reality, our reality. We want you to change to fit into my reality. So I don't have to change for you. But I want you to conform to my perception of reality. And so we have to look at that. Now, one would say, well, is that complete? Is that love? And it's that word again that is such a touchy word because it's used so loosely. It's like, what is love? How do you define love? In my book years back that called The Holographic Canvas, I did mention love, the idea of love, that if we were to really engage in this thing, this feeling that we call love in its pureness, then it would be about allowing, right? It would be about allowing, meaning allowing people to be who they are. It's total acceptance. That would be a profound kind of love. And there are people that are able to really make that happen. They're able to do that. And then yet there are so many little pockets of things to examine with that psychologically, in terms of what we actually subject ourselves to, submit ourselves to, in saying that, we'll take you just the way you are. Um, so as you can see, yes, it is a big subject matter. It's a big question that really has to be examined, because we've all, in some format or the other, experienced this whole idea of loving someone just the way they are. And after a while, who they are could kind of get on your nerves. So, but it doesn't always mean that you don't still love them. But what is crazy is that everything that irritates you about the person is really everything that drew you to them in the first place. It's really everything that you thought you were loving about the person. You don't know that that's what it is, but you're in love with all of this total package of this person, even the things that we choose not to immediately see. We sort of block it out of view, yet it was always there. So when he says, what is it? I love you just the way you are. Let's see, not that part. There's another part where he says, you've always had my unspoken passion. We get that part. And what's the other part? You never let me down. Now that's the thing. Don't go changing to try to please me. You never let me down before, right? That is a big line. You never let me down before. Now, that could mean truly, if you never let me down before, it goes back to the idea of allowing. If we really are in a space of allowing, like we really are able to love someone as they are, that allowing would be that no matter what they do, they really don't let you down because they are being who they are. We have stepped back and have accepted that person completely as they and are allowing of that person to be all of who they are. So in doing that, wouldn't that mean then that they're not letting us down? We get let down. Letting being let down is about disappointment. It's about someone not meeting the expectations that we've set, that we have in place, and those expectations aren't met when that person does something outside of those expectations. That's when we feel like we've been let down, we're disappointed. But if we really are to step back and go, this is about allowing, I truly love you just the way you are, then whatever they do, you really can't be let down because you've said that. I'm allowing. How often does that happen? Can you do that? Can I do that? I mean, I've had lots of circumstances in my life, particularly in terms of relationships, that makes me, I go back and I look at those circumstances, and evidently, no, I couldn't love you like that just the way you are, not that kind of love, because of how maybe it's affecting me, and at that point there is still, truly, there can be an allowing. Why? Because you have to then decide, I'm allowing you to be who you are, but at the same time, I may choose to step away. I may choose to step away so that you can continue to be all of what you want to be. You can continue to be who you are, and you don't have to try to change to please me, right? So at the same time, there is still no letdown. And we also have to recognize the fact that most often we do see people show us who they are, and it's a matter of what we choose to see. So when we are let down, somebody lets us down, do they really, let us down? Did we not know that this person was that way? Is it what we chose not to see? There's a lot of things to look at, and this comes back to self self-awareness, self love, the know thyself. It all still comes back to you, comes back to the individual, comes back to me as to how I feel about myself and what's workable. I'm fine. I'm fine with you going and being who you are, but it's not working for me in my reality. So again, even if you say to somebody, oh, I love you just the way you are, and and then you're accepting of, again, of experiences being imposed on you that are emotionally, taking you down. Is that love? I mean, or is that love, or is that obsession, or is that, just self-torture? Or, what is that? But we can if we want to, but to force someone into change, I don't know that's even, really possible. People will only be able to change, to transform, if indeed they see this as something that they want to do. Not that there's something wrong with them, because I don't know that that's the terminology either, because we've come up with this concept of something wrong. Um, but I think that it's that person and whatever that person's story is. And if you step back and you recognize that that is a story that they must play out, I don't wish to be part of that story, but you're welcome to continue that story if you so choose. The other part of this too is, uh, many of us, many times, yes, you would love the person to remain just the way they are. Don't go changing. Don't go change it. Don't change the some new fashion. Don't go trying some new fashion or change the color of your hair. Don't do anything. Do we want people who don't want to change, who aren't willing to evolve themselves? So that's the other part of it. Do we want people to really stay the same all the time in our relationships with whoever it is, family members, again, mates? Do we really want people to stay just the way they are? Is there stagnation involved? Are you growing? Now, when you decide that you're evolving, you're going into this evolution, but that person is remaining just the way, you remember them, that's going to get old, it's going to get boring, and you're going to grow apart, which is a lot of times what happens in many relationships, especially relationships that start out really early in life. If you can't grow together, if you're not accommodating of growth, if you're not aware that growth is a natural part of the process, that it needs to happen, it needs to occur, and then you say, well, you're suddenly changed. Well, then you have to step back and look at yourself. Am I growing? Have I what is the evolution that I've gone through? What are the changes? Have I done any changing? And then you get one person that may, in a relationship, that might just be tired of the same old. They're bored. So then it starts looking like they're changing, but they're really just wanting more, because that's natural for human beings to want to explore more in terms of possibilities. What we could actually maybe encounter or do something different. So it's interesting to examine the idea of change and the idea of loving someone just the way they are, because it can go both ways. It could go loving them just the way they are, and then there is a stagnation there, and you don't want them to change, and you don't want to change, and you don't want the relationship to change. And then there's the other side of it, where you welcome change because it's about growth, and it could possibly really strengthen your relationship with each other. Sure, there may be static, just you fall out with your friends, your good friends, you get into it, there's tension, but sometimes from that comes incredible growth. You learn about yourself. Each person learns about themselves, and you learn about each other, right? And you see how maybe you can perceive things differently, and welcome change, welcome evolution. And if indeed it's time to part, then we also have to be accepting of that as well. And sometimes that's what happens. We're going in different directions. I've left behind I won't say tons of friends, but friends through my evolution, as I've changed over the many years. I've moved from one place to the next place, a particular large move that I had done, big move. And I consciously chose to leave my past behind, to leave those people behind, and never communicated anymore with them, because I realized my life was going in a completely different direction than where they were. Not that mine was going to be better or theirs were going to be worse. We were just going in two different directions. And the two worlds were no longer going to be able to fluidly merge. There wasn't going to be harmony because it's just two different directions. So we have to be allowing of that to also allow or let go and allow those kinds of changes to happen. So I thought it'd be good to bring that up because it's a romantic notion. Yes, I love you just the way you are. When you first start out, everything is just wonderful, it's awesome. And then you settle in and like, oh man, you do this, you do this, you do that, and now it's static. So interesting. All right, love to hear your comments on that also. And I want to let you know my website is brand new. It just went up 24 hours ago, and I'm really excited about it. TheRealSoniaBarrett.com is going to be much easier to navigate through, and there's new things on there as well. I'm going to be doing a once a month free teleconference, and that's the first Wednesday of every month. And so I'd love for you to be part of that. And so you can go to therealsoniabarrett.com, and underneath the events tab, it will say free teleconference. And if you would like to be part of that. So do check that out. I'd love for you to be part of it. And at the bottom of that page, you will be able to register for the free teleconference. And when you subscribe to the site, which is free, there is a free gift that you will receive, and that is the audio from the workshop I had done called Redefining the Idea of Struggle. So if you want a copy of the audio, go to therealsoniabarrett.com. It will pop up to subscribe, and you can go ahead and get a copy of the audio, and it will allow you to get updates from me and on the various things that that are happening, other workshops and so on, just different things, videos, and items that go, on sale, or I'm giving away something. So it's a good way, articles, blog, all of that stuff. And so yeah, and don't forget the movie, The Business of Disease, thebusinessofdisease.com. Please go to thebusinessofdisease.com, and you can watch it video on demand, streaming on the website, and it's available in other places as well, Amazon and YouTube on demand and Voodoo, but watch it on the website um, at thebusinessofdisease.com, and the book Health and Inside Job that goes with the film. All of that is available. The DVD is available for sale too. So you can go to thebusinessofdisease.com and also purchase a copy of the DVD, because it's a film you have to watch several times. This is the general consensus. You've got to watch it several times because there's so much content in there, because it is very cutting edge. So I think that's it. I look forward to hearing from you, seeing your comments, and if there's any topics, I should say, that you want to talk about at these free teleconferences, please go ahead, suggest it in the comments below, or you can also send me an email from the website, and I would love to see, love to see what we can address, and you'll be able to also ask questions, and we are actually going to engage. It's just not just me speaking at these teleconferences, and there's so much more on the website, so do check it out, therealsoniabarrett.com. And also subscribe to my YouTube channel. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. The link is below. Just click subscribe. And I think that might be it. Oh, one more thing. The simple ways, the book is now available. Simple ways to step outside of your comfort zone, which is a 7-day program. There is a full program with the videos and audios and all of that that's available on the website. But I've also now created a printed handbook. So you can have the handbook if that's all that you can afford to buy, or you can, even if you have the other package, you can have the handbook to carry around with you. It's got, great 7-day process that you can initiate at any given moment in your life. And that's available on the website under books. So that's it. Well, I look forward to possibly chatting with you at one of these teleconferences. And that's it. So until next time, see you then.